Hello everyone, Mrs. Olson here. This is the third segment for the video lesson on the outbreak of World War I. This last slide with these two photographs is of Gavrilo Princip and him being apprehended after he assassinates the Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie. So we continue with Germany's moves. What does Germany do after World War I is declared? The very first thing they do is to attack France. I'm going to show you a map in a little bit that shows you exactly which way they went. So, to attack France, they decide to go through the neutral country of Belgium. Their purpose in doing that is to encircle French troops. So instead of going across a mountain range, they are going to go through the neutral country of Belgium. And when they do this, the British then declares war on Germany. And part of that is to protect this small neutral nation of Belgium. Now, when you look on the map, you are going to see how close Belgium is to the British Isles. So here we go with the sides pitted against each other and a name change. The Triple Entente becomes the Allies, and the Triple Alliance form the Central Powers. Okay, so at the beginning of the notes, you do want to remember that the names of the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance, but from here on out, they are going to be considered the Allies, all right, and the Central Powers. So I think in the first segment, I talked about the Allies being like the good guys if you are looking at it from an American perspective. And the Central Powers, these are going to be the bad guys looking at it from an American perspective. If that confuses you, don't worry about it. So here is Germany. Okay. Here's Paris. This is where they're trying to get to, Paris, France. And this is Belgium. So these guys go through Belgium, which has nothing to do with the alliance system. And of course, I told you to look for Great Britain, which is very, very close to this area. It's actually a fairly narrow waterway that separates it. Okay, here is another view of that. Germany going through Belgium, hoping to encircle France. Okay, and here is a newspaper headline that shows you what happened. It's always good to see things like this. These are considered primary documents. Okay, so Germany is successful in invading Belgium. Well, no kidding. They're neutral. They didn't even know they were coming. Okay. So they invade Belgium, they get into France, and they are easily able to push the British and the French back. So when this happens, we have Russia, who invades Germany on Germany's eastern border. And when they do that, the Germans decide that they're going to take their troops off of the Western Front and they're going to send them east. Okay? So let me show you that right here. So all of Germany's forces are located here. All of Germany's forces are located here. Russia invades on the eastern side, and so Germany has to take half of the forces away from the Western Front, splits the forces, and sends them to fight the Russians on the east. Okay, I'm catching up. So this weakens the German forces on the west, and what happens is that they're actually able to get within 30 miles of Paris, the capital city. This is a huge deal. This is way too close for comfort when you are fighting a war. Once a capital city falls, the rest of the country is not far behind, so that's why the Germans go after Paris first. So this battle, fighting the French and the British 30 miles outside of Paris, is called the First Battle on the Marne. And I didn't put first battle on here because I probably won't talk about the second battle on the Marne, but there are actually two if you are a battle fanatic and want to look up more information about it. This is the first battle on the Marne. Okay, so here's that map again. Here's Germany. Go through Belgium. Try to encircle Paris. They get within 30 miles of Paris, have to split their forces because Russia has invaded on the east and they have to protect their eastern border. Okay, so here are some photographs from First Battle on the Marne. This is the French countryside, remember, 30 miles outside of Paris. Now, some people remember Battle on the Marne because the French had to transport their troops, their soldiers, by taxicab. So they didn't have enough troop transport to hurry up and get to the front to fight the invading Germans, and so they used every means necessary, including taxicabs. And there's another one. This is actually very near the front lines. And I always get a kick out of, this is almost like a bus, or it's not quite a trolley, but it even has curtains on it. Okay, here's another one, front page or front cover of a book. So, what you want to know is that both sides become locked in a stalemate. Stalemate means that it really doesn't move. So this stalemate is along hundreds of miles of trenches. And in our next lesson, we're going to talk about trench warfare. So the position of the Western Front, it barely changes in 3 years. And here are some pictures of trenches. Actually, let me go back to that idea for just a second. So you have guys that are fighting, right? You've got your Central Powers on one side, you have your allies on another. They fight, they kill each other, they gain a little bit of ground, they lose a little bit of ground, and it's this back and forth type of fight for the next 3 years, 1914 to 1917. So they slept in these trenches. This guy is not dead. He's sleeping. They ate in these trenches. They lived in these trenches, right? Here's some more. Okay, so this is a map of the Western Front. So, might gain a little bit of ground, might lose a little bit of ground. So if you look, I don't want to move my cursor too much, but on the bottom left of your screen, you'll see that the front line is on the 5th of December. It is this one right here. It is solid. Or excuse me, yeah, the 5th of September. And then the hash mark type of line is on the 29th of December. So this is showing you that it moved. And this is the Eastern Front. So the other picture was where the line was drawn as far as the Western Front, and this is the Eastern Front. Okay, so it says farthest Austro-German advance in 1918. That's about as far as they got into Russia. And front at the time of the Russian Revolution is 1917. That's this yellow line. Okay. And that is the end of the third segment. I hope you guys learned a bunch about the outbreak of World War I. Please let me know if you have any questions.